You're watching BBN Gameday, presented by Central Bank.
Welcome back to BBN Gameday. Every team on UK's campus has needed to make adjustments for this year for COVID-19. Now the NCAA Tournament is having to do the same. Keith Farmer and I talked about all of that with the man in charge, Mitch Barnhart. So you may have picked the wrong year to be the chairman of this NCAA committee, because I can't imagine the difficult decisions, but I've heard people say it's so important that we get this tournament done, that maybe we plan for the tournament and then work our way back to make sure that we do things right to get there. Talk about the discussions that you all have had about keeping it in one location.
Well, the committee has met we used to meet on a regular basis, like every other month in person. And I will tell you, we've probably been on more calls in the last 5 months to try and find our path forward than I can ever remember in my years on the committee. This is my 5th year. There's 3 parallel working groups at the NCAA level, and the basketball committee broken in, the 10 members broken into 3 different committees, helped with the staffer, trying to find a path forward. And the pandemic has been so devastating in terms of an ability to run events and bring people together safely and in a healthy way. There's probably not a more complex tournament sporting event anywhere in the world, with the exception of maybe the World Cup, maybe the Olympics. So to bring 14 sites, run 14 sites, 68 teams, literally hundreds of thousands of spectators, and all those different venues in a safe way wasn't going to be feasible. It became very apparent through our conversations. So we came to the decision of one geographic location, one geographic region, if you will, to host the NCAA March Madness Men's Basketball Championship. So we're looking to that. We're working through the details. There's a lot of speculation that that's Indianapolis and that region would make the most sense. But there's a lot of speculation on that. We have worked with them on preparations for the Final Four. So there's some of the groundwork that has been laid on that already. But I don't think there's any mystery. Trying to find a controlled environment, I wouldn't even call it a bubble, a controlled environment where we have a chance to have people at multiple hotels, but feeding into just a few venues and then working our way to Lucas Oil for a championship might make the most sense.
You know, Mitch, I was blown away when I heard the news that Matthew Mitchell was going to retire. It had to be even more so for you, and to go through it and then find the person for this moment to lead this UK women's basketball team all at the same time.
Yeah, Matthew's been a friend, not just a colleague, but he's been a friend for over a decade and a half. You know, Matthew and I have worked together in some capacity for quite a while. And he is the all-time winningest coach in Kentucky women's basketball history. I don't think you define him by that. You define him by the way that he conducted himself in our community, the way that he and Jenna cared for people in the community, their generosity. You judge him and you think of him in terms of the great energy and passion he brought for the game of women's basketball. And then you just think about just how much he cared about young people, and specifically women, in playing the game of basketball at a high level. And so he did all of that at a remarkably high level. And I just think he got to that spot. He just didn't feel totally 100%. And I know Matthew well enough to know that if he's not 100%, he's not going out there in a limited capacity. So we felt like it was the right time. We had multiple conversations about it and trying to think our way through a different way. He just felt like it was the time to step away and to get his health right and to get his heart at 100% for whatever that happens to be in the next part of his journey. I respect that very much. He and I have been close a long time, and again, we've had a lot of great victories together, and we've walked that hallway back to the locker room in a loss sometimes together as well. But I have great respect for him and Jenna, and wish them all the best as they venture on.
Men's and women's basketball start next week. We're very excited. Games played at Rupp. Just your thoughts on getting this season going?
Yeah, we want to get cranked up. You know, we hear all the issues of why we can't. I think we've got to continue to find a way that we can. And we've got limited capacity. We know we've got all sorts of restrictions. We're working our way through. Our teams have worked really hard to prepare. We're welcoming an interim head women's basketball coach in Kyra Elsie, excited about her getting started and letting her show the Big Blue Nation, how she will lead our program. And I think that's really, really important. But just the opportunity to gather in Rupp Arena, the opportunity to play college basketball and to continue to let our young people do what they do best. And they have been very responsible in how they're managing themselves. They're working really hard to be healthy. It's a long season. I don't envision that the college basketball season in total will be without disruption. I'm hoping that disruption doesn't hit at our front door, but we'll work our way through it. I'm excited to get to watch our teams play, and not just our basketball teams, but all of our winter sports teams. We got some really, really talented athletes and some tremendous teams. And so I would encourage the Big Blue Nation, whether it's in person or virtually or on TV, check it out. There's some wonderful, wonderful student athletes, and we've got a lot of great things going on in terms of teams for the winter and the spring sports.
Coming up next on BBN Game Day, we'll go between the lines with a member of the UK offense. It's Cleavon Thomas, and he'll talk about his game-winning touchdown from last season. Don't go away.